I'm at the site of a place called Castle Dykes. It's at Farthingstone. Yeah, Farthingstone, that sounds it. It's an absolutely massive site. It is a Mortain Bailey. The Mortain Bailey part is over there in them trees. But there's this absolutely massive enclosure on the outside. As you can see, all these bluebells here. Climb under the trees there. I'll just show you this. There is a this is a very substantial bank and ditch there around the outside. Being disturbed by a bee. We'll probably walk around the outside over there in a minute. This is on private land, but I've got permission from the farmer called Robert. Thank you very much, Robert, to come and have a look. I have been here before. I did take some photos last time. I didn't make a video. I was thinking of wearing shorts today. There's not that many nettles. Very unusual place for a castle. We are on a slight spur on the other side, on that side where we're heading, but otherwise it's a very isolated location. There is the remains of a very loud helicopter or aircraft going overhead. Yeah, there is a Iron Age hill fort or something about 300 metres south of this place, I believe. I did look for it on LiDAR. I couldn't really see anything, but it is recorded. I could go up onto the bank there, but I'll stay down here in the ditch. I don't think there's any evidence of buildings or anything being recovered in the other part. But this is in fact a Mortain Bailey with 3 Baileys. As you can see, this part here is absolutely massive. Whoops! Oh, well, that weren't very good. The farmer did say beware of the slippy banks. This isn't the motte. This is part of the Bailey, I believe. We won't edit the fallout. I have got dirty jeans now. At least this place isn't covered in nettles and brambles. As you can see, the Bailey stretches all the way around there. This is a substantial bank for the outside of the Bailey. You can see that outer enclosure there. See if I can walk down here without slipping. I think that was actually the plant life rebelling against me. That wasn't the actual bank. I've walked up steeper and muddier banks than that before. But as you can see, we are still. This is a Bailey. The motte is just there. That's the motte just heading down towards now. As you can see, it's another one of these castles that's heavily overgrown. It's got substantial footprint on LiDAR, as you can see it. Now this is the motte here. A bit unusual because no, that's not the motte. This is the motte. What am I on about? Don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is the motte. That's just part of the ditch on the other side there. There is evidence of stonework underfoot. Yeah, this is the motte. Where is it? Was that the motte? I'm getting confused now. If this is just part of the outer enclosure, this would be much higher. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the motte there. This is just part of the outer enclosure. Well, then again, it does have a very substantial motte here, as you can see on the LiDAR images. Now we're getting stinging nettles, etc. Now I'm going to change my mind again. This is definitely the motte. Because this is absolutely massive. It's got a massive motte. It's really unusual to be right in the middle of nowhere with a substantial motte like this. And there's the other bailey on that side. So it's got a bailey over there. There's no evidence of a water source here. Besides, this has got to be one of the biggest mottes I've ever been on. And you can see the height down there. So not only is it wide at the top and the bottom, you can see how high up it is as well. For something to be built here, out in the middle of nowhere, this is a substantial undertaking. Yeah, definitely, this is definitely the motte. Don't know what I'm talking about. I think that little slip must have damaged my head. This would be a daunting prospect to attack. I mean, I've seen ringworks that are not as big as this, the motte here. You could almost say this is a ringwork on top of a motte. Luckily the whole area has not been overgrown yet. Too much overgrown, I wouldn't have been able to get up here, I don't think. Oh, should we walk along that tree? Maybe not. There's some clear evidence of stonework there. So if somebody bothered to put stonework on here, again this would have been a huge undertaking. I don't think I would bother walking along that tree, but we're not going to explore that part of the bailey, I don't think. going to be enough to film down this side. And let's try getting up here without having another embarrassing slip. More evidence of stonework. I do say this quite often, probably gets a bit stale, but I mean, I know I just slipped back then, but I am wearing some very good walking shoes that don't normally let me down. If you imagined, I've got mint there. If you imagine coming here in the medieval period, you would have been trying to get up the side here with flat leather-soled shoes, with mail armour, possibly a shield, a helmet, a spear, an axe. You notice I didn't say sword, because not everybody carried a sword like they do in the medieval films. You had to be pretty rich to own a sword. As you can see, that outer bailey, I mean the you might not be able to see it on the camera, but the actual rampart is a lot higher, almost in parts, than the motte that I'm standing on. And the motte is not, unless it's had some subsidence in the middle there, the actual outer part has been built up almost to a bank. That's why I drew a comparison to a ringwork. Yeah, let's get down here amongst all these more evidence of stone. Find a way down with all these nettles. I'll go down that side there, I think. I think where the bluebells are quite thick, they're stopping the nettles from growing. In a couple of months' time, this place will be completely overgrown with nettles. You won't be able to get anywhere. More substantial evidence of stonework there, and just there. I mean, this is so steep, you almost need to abseil down it. Yep, my feet are slipping. But like I say, a good pair of walking boots compared to trying to get up here in what you'd have in the medieval period. That part there is the outer another bailey. I think we're orientated, I think that's north. That would be east, so that would be south, and that would be west. So the two bailies are sort of orientated north and south. And then you've got that other massive outer enclosure, which is over there. And there, here is the other bailey. And that is the motte. The motte is basically from there right the way to there. And height, you're looking at sort of there to there. That is massive. I'm not Carol Vorderman or Rachel Riley, but my maths tells me that that is massive. And if you look on LiDAR, If you look on Google Earth or something like that, all you can see is trees. You look on LiDAR and this place just pops out pretty substantially. Again, we've got nettles that are luckily not too high. Starting to get the worst time to come and look at this type of castle, because they will be heavily overgrown. Brambles, nettles, you'll be lucky to get near them or anywhere on them. That's why I don't mind if they're on private land. If they're on private land and they've got sheep grazing them and so on, that can be quite good, because they will keep this sort of thing down, like these brambles here. And as you can see, just these earthworks, these embankments here are massive. I mean, this is the sort of thing you'd associate with a pretty important site that needs to be defended. Why you'd put this much effort into somewhere like this? You're talking about sort of like a royal estate, royal castles, if you want to defend an area like this. And yet again, we've got more evidence of stonework. I'll probably have more evidence in a minute of me falling on my backside. All part and parcel of the experience. And here we are down in the there's evidence of water down in the bottom there. As you can see, we are reasonably well up on a hill here. But there are no other castles in this area to speak of. Nothing else that's sort of note defensively, apart from the little village which is down the bottom with the church. There's clearly no evidence of a church here. Our little pathways around here, that's probably from deer, I should imagine, rather than humans. And we're back on the west side. I'll probably take a walk around the outside there in a minute. I'm just going to stop the video. Okay, start the video again. Look, that's the inner earthworks there, which again is a massive bank for a bailey on a Mortain Bailey castle. And this is the outer enclosure. As you can see, it is a substantial area with substantial ditches and banks around it. I might go back down this way. Although, yeah, let's just go for it. You only live 15 times. Very sheltered in here. I thought it was going to be windy, so I put my microphone on. If you did manage to get into this ditch, you then got to get up there. Obviously this is covered in greenery. It probably just would have been either bare or grass, but there would have been a palisade at the top, a wall, a palisade, and if there's stone around, that would have demonstrated it would have been possibly a stone wall up there. there's any evidence of a entrance anywhere. That's the bit that I thought was a motte, which is not a motte, but it is absolutely massive earthworks on the outside of the bailey. Not only have you got to get down this bank on the right and then try and get up that bank there. It is a little bit spongy underfoot there. I mean, I think this is an entranceway. There's more stone here. Yeah, I think this is a natural entranceway here. Whether this is more recently built, it would have most likely had a drawbridge rather than an earth bank. Yeah, so you come into this bailey here, and then you've got the motte over there. And an absolutely massive bailey. Although the banks on this side are much more higher and much more substantial than they are on that side. Only that side you do have slightly lower land. You can feel a little bit of wind whipping through here. Bailey goes down, right down to the bottom. There's the second bailey, and then there's the goes that way. For those people, to be honest, who don't go out and visit castles and don't sort of look around castles, it's hard to describe how big this place is and how big the earthworks are. I mean, this is the sort of undertaking of a Windsor castle almost. That's the biggest castle in Britain. I think it's the 5th biggest castle in the world. I mean, if you count this outer enclosure, this place is massive. I mean, the actual Mortain 2 bailies there has quite a large footprint on the ground. But you include this outer bit here as well. This whole area is massive. Yeah, when I came into the village, just at the base of where this road is that you come to this place, there's a farm. I didn't see the farmer last time, but I did manage to, I just rang the number and spoke to him, and he said it was okay. This time I was lucky. I just went in and he was just getting into his Land Rover. I think there's 2 brothers by the sound of it, what he said to me last time. I mean, the bank and ditch on this side is not as substantial as other parts. Maybe it didn't need to be. It'd be certainly a good place to hold a market if you were in this area, I mean. Although you'd have to get people travelling here to do that. I did read up on this place before I came here. I don't think there was any sort of reasons given as to why it was here. But it does kind of say that it is quite unusual to have somewhere like this built-in isolation here. I'm going to walk down here around the outside bit. But this is, as you'd probably describe this as a desolate landscape, was the word I was looking for. And there is a road that goes past the site, just over there where that hedge is, where that nice red kite's flying, if you can see it. I mean, normally I can get round a site in about 2-3 minutes. Not quite sure how long it's taken me so far. That red kite swooping down on the something's piqued its interest. They are pretty much everywhere now. Yeah, the ditches on this side, the banks on this side are suddenly get a bit more substantial again. And this here, which looks like a rabbit or a hare or something just gone running off. This looks like a sort of level area in the ditch. Could possibly be a another little entrance way. Obviously, over time, an entrance way would have been built here by the local farmer or whatever. We're going back up here. Again, more evidence of stonework. I think this is a little trackway that deer or something would have used. I think they probably stick to the same little routes. Some evidence of rabbits. And we're basically back where I started. I don't think this would have been the natural entrance. I think where I just came from would have been the natural entrance. I think this has obviously just been put in by the farmer to gain access. But that is an absolutely massive Motte Bailey castle at Farthingstone, known as the Castle Dykes. Well worth a trip out if you can get here and get permission to visit. Only I'd probably be inclined to come here in the winter, not in the summer. Be easier to navigate through this place.